What was your proudest fact? I went on a week-long solo camping trip. No cell service. Didn't see a single person in the entire time. Didn't have any nudes saved to my phone. Woke up one morning and realized I had a wank in 4 days. Stepped out of my tent. Took in a deep breath. Found a tree to stand behind so no animals could see and just raw dogged it to nature. Didn't imagine any ladies or anything, just me and nature in a 3-foot cum shot onto a Douglas fir. Mother Nature was watching. Asterisk stepped Mother Nature. What are you doing, tree coon? Well, all your branches are broken, so I thought you could use some help. On top of this real high abandoned building I'd broken into, looking out over the city early in the morning. Homelander? Just one of the boys. Busted in my then-girlfriend's mouth and she shared a cigarette with this dude I didn't care for. Every July 4th, Lady Liberty. Please rise for the national anthem, Monsieur. Why ahead of you. On FaceTime with my girlfriend. Same. Went for 3 hours. It was kinda fun. Who's GF? You, Flash 747 boo. Top of the Eiffel Tower. Not the first baguette to be buttered at the peak. Never been to the Eiffel Tower, so I have no clue how it looks or how it's run or whatever, so excuse my ignorance. Weren't there other tourists and visitors there in security of some kind? Asterisk, they knew. Asterisk. But did you eat the buttered baguette? Was in my crush's closet. Was she surprised when you came out of the closet, or did she always kind of know? Don't you mean coming in the closet, thinking face? Mona Lisa's hands. I saw them in the library. And something about the monsieur, it gave me erection. Kira, no. Slowly puts away killer queen. I'm a woman. Sorry, but once my boyfriend sent me a pic from his work where he was wearing a suit. Nothing dirty or provocative, just a normal at work pic. But for some reason that turned me on. He was looking sexy, so I started touching myself and sent him videos of it while he was working. It was so good and risky, but truly enjoyable. Oh god, poor guy, had to sit through work with a boner and your video in mind. I managed to bust a nut before this whole family of 7 came right by me. Holy shit, that is one weird family. I wonder what they were fapping to. Hope you didn't slip in it. My proudest fap was finished about 10 minutes ago, and hey, on a side note, you should really lock your fence up. It wasn't that hard to open. Sorry about the stains on the window. Hey man, a heads up. You should watch your back. 'Cause I was watching yours. Also, what kind of conditioner do you use? Smells nice. The conditioner is Ocean Spring scented. He also doesn't lock his bathroom window. In the bathroom while not clocked out. Boss makes $1. I make a dime. That's why I fap on company time. Here for the comments later. After a month at camp with zero privacy. Had the house to myself when I came back. And my dick was Spider-Man web slinging like crazy from build-up. Just was satisfying and I was proud I set a PR, you know? Were there no toilets? Couldn't you crank one out in the loo? When I thought I was a genius for discovering that you could rub your dick with your hand. My first one, everything else just been downhill. Always chasing that dragon. The ones that I don't get caught. You get caught. Been fapping for 8 years, not even close to getting caught in my roommate or not people that knock. My door doesn't have a lock and I still haven't been caught. Iris from Pokemon. I had a weird growth, wart-looking shit on my chest that was dead center in between my 2 nipples. It fucked up my self-esteem and I had a lot of trouble removing my shirt because I was ashamed of my 3rd nip. One day I was done with this shit, so grabbed a small string, put it around the growth and tied it there so I could slowly cut it. After a week there was progress, but I wanted it to be quicker. So I pulled and pulled, but it still wasn't coming off. It felt like I was strangling an old friend with a rope in an Italian gangster movie. Full PF adrenaline and really wanted it to go away. I grabbed a pair of scissors and chopped it off. After all of that, I was so pumped and so full of adrenaline, the only thing I felt like doing was power wanking too. celebrate the death of the little shit that had been eating away at my self-esteem for several months. I've never felt better about masturbating in my life. Celebratory power wanking is an underappreciated splendor of life. I stealth-fapped a couple times in school during class. Go 15 through 17-year-old me for taking advantage of unorthodox classroom layouts and seating arrangements to rub one out. They knew. Yep, we always know, man. Don't think for a second that anybody was getting fooled. No man will ever fap one, nor any woman, in a class without everyone knowing. I suppose there is a bit of a learning curve with public masturbation though. Especially in class. I jerked off in the bathroom and someone came in to take a shit in the stall next to me. Rumor went around and my new nickname was Beef Jerky. I mean, clearly they didn't just think they heard it if you did it. Like, you know how some people sometimes say, not my proudest fap, what has been your proudest? I asked this question a few months ago, nobody cared. Funny how Reddit works. Reddit is fickle. I've posted things that have gotten zero attention only for somebody to post the same thing 12 hours later and get hundreds of comments and thousands of upvotes. No point complaining about it. Sarah Jean Underwood when she did Playboy before she was on Attack of the Show. Cynthia from Pokemon in a bikini. Not gonna lie, grew up thinking she was cute as hell. I started at 9 p.m. and ended at 4 a.m. Monsieur. How? Were you on anything? Could be edging. Longest I've gone that my willpower allowed me was like 2 hours. I did not wish to come to my first fap material knowing that there are better ones. I kept scouring the net for materials that can one-up the previous one. It was already 4 a.m. by the time I found one that fulfilled my need for visual stimulation. In other words, what Necessary Statement said, goddamn, skimming porn for 7 hours. How was the post-nut clarity? Probably pretty rough. If I did that shit, and I probably couldn't, I would not have made it through the night without slitting my own throat. Math is hard. Busted a nut all over this girl's body who was dating that one steroid asshole in the game, Monsieur. He was the type of guy to laugh at you while you're lifting and explain in 10 different ways how he is better than you. Joe. What's Joe? Joe Mama. Ugh, now I have ligma envelope. I have no saliva to do so and I need to mail in my tax returns. Joe Mama. The Wi-Fi was out, and I like to draw, so I put my skills to use. Got my dick blowed a few days ago. Girl didn't want me to bust in her mouth. So right before I did, I just masturbated the last few seconds. She let me grab her boobs. She then managed to lick some of the cum. Didn't make sense tbh. But it felt great. Wait, she didn't want you to cum in her mouth but still wanted to lick the cum. WTFXD. Sounds dumb but true. You'll be surprised. Some girls don't like it when you pull their hair when they're blowing you, but you can throat fuck them and it's perfectly fine. Upvote so I can come back later. Come back, homie. Thanks, my dude. Welcome. Her what ya doin'? Me, tossin' off. Her show me. Me 8 == D tilde. Finally I can get this off my chest. So when I was around 15 to 16 years old, a group of friends and I went to one of those really nice hotels that were around 20 stories tall. Because it was my friend's birthday. We were all around the same age. And we were old enough to be trusted by ourselves for more than a few days. So the adults accompanying us stayed in a different room a few floors down. This meant we could do whatever we desired. We wanted food, we bought pizza. We got bored, we went to the huge pool behind the building. Anyway, it was our second day and when the boys and I, there were 4 of us including me, were discussing girls in very specific ways because, you know, teenagers. It had been quite a few days since I wanked and all that. So as you could imagine, I was at a certain point where I would do just about anything to let loose. Thankfully God decided to help me out or some shit, because right around the time where I started getting a hard-on from thinking about girls, one of my friends, we'll call him Z, had the idea of getting food. but only if somebody came with. Everyone else was starving, so naturally they agreed to go. I, however, had the bright idea to take this opportunity. The pizzas at this hotel took forever to make, and if I didn't act, I would have been super pissed at myself. So I say no and the boys leave the hotel. I immediately get out my phone and go inside the bathroom for some alone time. Now, since it had been a considerably long time, I wasn't exactly in control of when I finished the deed compared to most times. So when I felt it coming, my dumbass just grabbed a towel and finished on that rather than in the toilet or some shit. Now this fact doesn't sound proud to you guys yet, but it became my proudest when my friends just so happened not to touch that towel for the rest of the time we were there. And they took a shower every day. Pretty damn lucky if I do say something myself. Oh yeah, and there is more of the story. Later after our stay, Z and I were talking about how fun it was at the hotel and how we should do it again with the boys. Then he mentioned the time he and the boys left me in the hotel room when they went to go get food. I ended up telling him what I had done. He is my best friend, the kind where we could say anything to each other for any reason. Naturally, he laughed really hard, like more than I expected. I told him, "Dude, I know it was funny, but I've never seen you laugh so hard." He turns up to me and informs me that during the time they were getting food, everyone basically started calling it that I was totally jacking off, since it was weird that I didn't want food for once. I am one of those people who look like a skeleton and never gain weight when I overeat. So I loved food a lot. So yeah, that's my proudest FAP story ever. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.